Guys, happy Thursday. We've had some new members this week, so welcome. I don't know where this week has gone. I was expecting to do a live at Facebook earlier on this week, so sorry it's taken me so long to get on here this week. But I have been busy today helping a client. Actually, she was live in the Facebook group here not long ago. Paige, hey Kevin. Paige Penzarello, the cash flow chick. So she is an expert in notes investing. And I've been helping her put together some testimonial videos for the master class that she does. And oh my gosh, I don't get much contact with her clients and her coaching clients and so forth. And just to hear their stories and the impact that Paige has had on their lives in learning note investing, man, it almost brought a tear to my eyes. It was so impactful. And so she is doing the Building Wealth with Notes event this weekend. Of course, it went virtual and it sold out. Woo, woo, go Paige, go. So the marketing efforts for that definitely worked, which was fantastic. But focusing on the testimonial videos. Now, it just really sunk in today that they are absolute marketing gold. And we often forget how valuable and the testimonials are, or case studies or success stories, whatever you want to call them. They can sell your services, products, whatever you have, for you, in all honesty. And especially if you are new to real estate investing, whether it's wholesaling or notes or fix and flip or whatever, they are absolute, like, they help you build your authority and your credibility and validate what you do more than anything else. So what I'm trying to say is, I've got too many things in my head at once. But even if you are starting out in the business, right, and you don't have a book yet, or you don't have a podcast show yet, or you're not guesting on podcasts yet, that is okay. You can use and leverage your stories and let them go a far way. So let me share, because I know people are awkward about how to get them and it feels kind of weird. There are a few ways. So you can easily turn an experience that you've had with a client and turn it into a story. So whether you're talking to someone in a sales chat, or on your, a blog, or in a video, or in your marketing materials, but you can just tell a story of what happened and how you helped them. Really get into the detail of how that person felt, how you stepped them through it, what you did, and what the outcome was. So really dig deep. And you may or may not be able to use that person's first name or last name, and that's okay. These stories are like a testimonial that's kind of turned into a story, right? You can also ask your clients or your connections or your JV partners or whatever, what it's like to work with you and how you've helped them. And so you can just outright ask. I mean, some people will send you material or send you an email or send you a text and just like, oh my gosh, that call really helped me out. Or, working with you through this fix was so easy. You did this, this, and this, and this. Thank you. You may get a ton of those already, and that's fantastic. But when you get them, capture it. So if it's on Facebook, do a screenshot. You can always white out their name if it needs to. Take a screenshot of the text. Ask them, hey, do you mind if I use this publicly to share that success? And any of those little pieces, it is social proof that you can use in your marketing. Now, you can take it one step further. And so let's say you are investing for a client. I know a couple that are overseas and that help people invest over here. I'm in Canada, but in the US. And so he took someone through a process and invested for them and so forth. And so you can create a case study from that whole experience, what it was like in the beginning, what the journey was, what the outcome was. And you can even get into the nitty gritty of the dollars, the cents, the ROI, the struggles that you came across, how you overcame them. And so you can write it up into a huge case study. If it's hard for you to extrapolate those details, you can even interview the person. So, and just, hey, can we have a 15-minute chat that I can record just so I can get some information about your experience of working with me? And so you can transcribe that and use it in multiple ways. If you're doing it on Zoom, you can get that video. Now, if you are doing like a Zoom, like a webinar or group coaching or anything in that sphere, you can prepare people ahead of time as well and ask them like, hey, I want you to share your experience. I'm going to ask you some questions. Do you mind if I record it? And this is what we did with Paige. So we have all these different testimonials or comments about their experience in that master class and working with Paige, and what their thoughts were at the beginning, what the experience was like, but also the outcome and how they feel now. And we were able to take all those little bits and pieces and compile it into a really nice compilation that you can use. And you can use those as selling tools in your emails. You can use them when you're making sales calls or you're following up on someone. Hey, I just got this amazing comment from someone, wanted to share it with you. And God, there are so many ways that you can use them. You can just share a social post. Oh my God, I'm so thankful to get this from somebody today. It really made my day. And share it. Don't feel like, oh, it's unnerving trying to like toot your own horn. Do it. It really puts other people in their place. Be like, oh, if he or she helped this person, I can relate to them. They can help me too. And it helps foster that whole sense of a relationship, right? And the trust and the like factor. And then also in the sales funnel, if you're trying to get someone from point A to point B and take the next step, those testimonials or those case studies, those videos, social proof, all of those little things, they add up and they make a huge difference in regards to converting those people. Now, I'm going to give you one more tip before I go. I know I've rambled on a little bit long. The other tip that I have is for you to use a form or have a specific list of questions in order to get that, I hate the word testimonial, but that success story. So, because otherwise people just get stymied, right? Like if someone say, oh, can you give me a testimonial? I'll just sit in there thinking, oh, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to type. So it just ends up coming out as like kind of lame, right? They were so great. They really helped me grow my business. She was a pleasure to work with. Like that doesn't say anything about the results. It doesn't say anything about the emotional journey that they went on. It doesn't say anything about the concrete pieces of information that that person got. It doesn't give you any detail, and it certainly won't help you overcome objections in the sales process, as a side note. So what I've done is when you are doing an interview with someone to get that testimonial, you can ask them specific questions, or you can create a Google form that asks them specific questions. And you can call it a feedback form, because then it's like, hey, I want to get your feedback on this program. I want to get your feedback on this experience so that I can help more people. And so it's all about how you frame it, right? So make sure that you cover how they felt before they met you, the reason why they reached out, maybe some of the trepidations that they had beforehand or uncertainties that they felt, right? And really get into like the pain of where they were at before you helped them. Then you can ask them things about the journey, so to speak. You know, what were you surprised about that you got out of this experience that you didn't think you would? And feel free to get specific in the questions. If obviously the question, if someone else wanted to, invest with someone else, what advice would you give them? Or what how do you feel now that you've gone through this process? How has your revenue increased? What was your ROI? How much, you can also speak financially too, right? I mean, there's so many different scenarios, so it's hard to come up with an example. But, how much did you invest in, and what was your ROI over the span of a year? Was it more or less than you anticipated? The process, was it easy? Or you don't want to ask yes and no questions, but you want to really ask questions where you get really nitty gritty information. And also think about your prospects and the objections that you get from people, or the reasons why people hold off and they don't jump in and say yes. You want to how to reverse engineer those objections, and think about the questions that you can ask your customers, clients, or contacts, and get answers from them that will change an objection. Do you know what I mean? So you're being really intentional about how you're getting that testimonial or success story, and get really concrete information that you can use and leverage in your marketing and your sales funnels, and even your sales calls, your emails. If anyone wants this in like a list, or they want an example of a feedback form, or how to create a Google form, I am happy to go the extra mile and do those things if you want to take this strategy and utilize it in your business. Again, if you're looking to build your authority and you don't necessarily have that book or the podcast yet, this is a great starting point, because I guarantee that you have stories that you may have just like forgotten about or took for granted that you can turn into success stories. So I think that's the longest Facebook Live I've done in a little bit. So have a great Thursday night. I will be back tomorrow. Don't forget, we have Ardor SEO that is doing a live Facebook with me on the 19th, on Tuesday. Oh my God, where does the time go? Sharing tips for SEO for websites. And if you guys are looking for more leads and you're looking for more website traffic, you do not want to miss that on Tuesday. And bear in mind that we have an engagement contest. So the more that you comment on these posts, the more questions that you ask in the Facebook group, you can win a video review of your website. And I had one as well. And, I'm pretty seasoned in marketing, but there were a lot of tidbits where I'm like, oh, damn. And there's always room for improvement, right? So very eye-opening material. So thank you, Kevin, for joining. Again, ask questions if you guys are watching this afterwards, and have a great night. Ciao.